bite you! Man, take a police K-9! Come on, my dog, don't find you, dog, I'll bite you!
Cheater. You can tell he scents quicker. Alright, so it's not over there no more. It's over here. He's hitting.
I'm just trying to figure out where I was coming from. No. His eyes searching right now.
And when we do searches with the K-9, the dogs will do the same thing. They'll come back to another officer just to double check. All he's doing is eliminating that scent. And if you get too far from the handler, just stand still.
And he's got it. Yeah. Oh boy! Oh boy! That guy, bring my dog out here! Oh boy! Oh boy! Flats! 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 All the way down. Flats! 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 Glide. That guy walk around the tick. Flats! You're being a butthead every time I talk. Glide. Keep coming back, that guy. Alright, walk to your left. Glide. Glide. Keep coming back towards me. Keep coming back. Glide. That guy, stop right there. Boost. Flats. Flats. Glide. That guy, walk back towards me. Keep coming back. Keep coming back. Keep coming back. Stop right there. Glide. Seats. Seats. Go. Jump. Any questions? All right, if you noticed at the very beginning, when Kato was running around the room, he was looking for it with his eyes. The dogs have 3 senses. They have their eyes, their nose, and their ears. If you saw him, he's just looking around like this, looking to see what's out and about. After he came back here by Officer Downs and myself, and he went out, when he got to this door over here with the blue sign, his nose went down underneath the door. Right then, he's like, okay, I need to start smelling. And he started sniffing, and he didn't find anything in there. And he went back over in the corner, and his whole behavior changed, and he went right through that door. So a dog has all their senses. A dog will use all their senses. Some dogs go straight to smell. Some dogs go to sight. Some dogs go to the hearing. I've had several times where I'm searching something, and I'll send Kato down. He'll just stop, and he'll have his head, and he's just listening to see if he hears any sounds. And he'll direct himself towards those sounds. All right, you guys have any questions? I think we're we're way over time, huh?
You're plenty good.
All right.
15 more minutes still.
Okay, 2 questions. 1, how long does it usually take for the dog to find someone? And secondly, do you guys usually have to bring the dogs into restaurants if there's like a perp in there?
First question, there's no given answer because it depends upon the situation where the dog is going to find somebody. If it's in a small house, he's going to find somebody hiding in there a lot quicker than he would in a classroom, a school, or a business because there's less area to search. As far as bringing them into a restaurant, it would depend upon what the person was wanted for.
Like murder, theft, robbery?
That would depend upon a lot of officers. If somebody's just sitting there at, say, Applebee's eating and they have a murder warrant, we may not go in directly to go get him. We may wait outside for him to come out because if he's inside, he's got all these other people around him. That if he does something stupid, we have all these other distractions around us. So it's going to depend upon the situation. There's no true answer one way or the other. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
What was Max doing when he was jumping on the doors?
I don't know because I was hiding. But most likely what I saw when he jumped on this door back over here, remember I said that they use their eyes? Each of these doors has a window. So he's jumping up, looking in the window to see if he can see anything that might be worth investigating further in there.
You know about door handle?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yep.
Yes,
Young lady?
So if a door is locked and he wants to get in that room, will he call at the door to open it?
Uh-huh. We didn't do that here just because we don't want to scratch up the doors. But if somebody's hiding behind a door that's closed and the dog will smell the person in there, the dog will give us an alert. Most of our dogs scratch at the doors is what they've been taught to do. There's other dogs that they teach them whenever they find something, they'll sit and they'll bark. Or there's even other dogs like our narcotics dogs, whenever they find something, they'll just sit and stare right where the source is coming from. So it depends upon the door, or it depends upon the dog. Kato would scratch at the door until I was able to open that door for him. And if this was a situation, he was down there scratching at the door, like Officer Massey said, I wouldn't want to pass all these rooms right here. What I would do is I would keep him keyed up on that door, because whatever's in there is contained, because if they try and come out, he's got them, and me and my partners would slowly work our way down, clearing all the doors till we got to there.
There are different alerts you can train your dogs. If you want your dog to do a passive alert, if Richard was hiding, if Officer Smigowski was hiding in one of these rooms and I teach him to do a passive alert, the dog would just sit there until I come and open the door. Now an aggressive alert is exactly what the dogs were doing, jumping up, looking in. So it all depends on how you train your dog. Yes.
Could Max and Kato bill a criminal if they wanted to?
Yes. Yeah,
Has
it
that
could.
happened?
No. And
The dog doesn't want to do anything to him. It's not that he's trying to punish him, remember?
now remember what I had touched on the different phrases the dogs have, the different drives. The dogs are just like people. If somebody comes up and they start messing with you, and they start pushing you and hitting you, you're going to defend yourself, correct? Same with the dogs. They get into what's called the defense parade, or defense drive, and they'll protect themselves. If somebody's hitting them, kicking them, like I said before, when that guy went to kick Max, Max just kind of shied away, but when that guy went to punch me, Max jumped up, grabbed the guy by the arm, took him to the ground, bit him on the side, and then controlled him by biting him on the back of his leg, while two other officers grabbed his arm. They get into what's called defense drive, just like we would. So, could it happen? Of course. Do we want it to happen? No, the dogs don't go out and do that. That's not what they're there for.
We train all of our dogs to key up on certain areas of the body, the arms. We train them to go for the legs. There's some dogs that are trained to go on the back. Now, in a real world situation, that doesn't mean that somebody's not going to necessarily stand there when they see a dog coming at them and stick their arm out for the dog to bite on them. They might start swinging, they might start kicking, they might fall down, and the dog might hit someplace that they're not necessarily trained to do. The same as if we go to use a taser. Nobody's going to just stand there straight like that saying, tase me. They might move. We don't mean to hit them in a sensitive part of the body, but by their movement, they end up catching a dart in a sensitive area.
In the face!
So, could it happen? Like Officer Massey said, yes, it could happen. Do we train for that type of thing? No.
The situations dictate what happens with the dogs. I mean, like the taser thing. We had a guy running from us a couple years ago where an officer drove by him with a taser, shot him outside the window, and the guy went down. It just all depends on the situation.
We got another officer that tased somebody and they pooped their pants.
We actually used to have a K-9 that when they would find dope, it was a dope sniffing dog.
Dope.
It was trained to be passive. It would sit, but every time it did, it was so excited it would poop. Yeah. Every time. Hi. All right, see ya.
How are you?
Bye, Tegan.
God,
Good, big guy.
Yes, sir.
Has the dog ever bit anyone in a particular area, like the arm, the legs, the crotch, or anywhere?
What?
Like the ears? Like,
Kato's had 2 bites, and both of them have been to the arm.
any severe ones where a dog has bitten off someone's calves completely?
Completely no.
I've been in a situation with a SO dog. This Sergeant Peterman had a dog. We were out in a warehouse looking for a bad guy who was up in the rafters. The dog found him, pulled him out of the rafters, and pretty much just destroyed his whole bicep and tricep area.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So